That's how we have to create our Hajj Dua book. Here you go. So all the duas which we prefer to be like reading most frequently, these are the ones. I really love these ones. And then I put just some other duas which I really love and wants to keep recite these duas. I love the Dua Salaman. It was a very, very beautiful dua from the Quran. Here I put the dua, enter into the masjid, and then we can keep extended this dua with Allahumma fattah li abwaba bi rahmatika bi ni'matika bi salamatika bi sahatika. So once you keep recited these duas, you will be memorized what comes next. Here come the niyyah of the Hajj and Umrah page. And here so that's how I add the Safa wal Marwa dua in this book. And here we go. The most frequently the Prophet Muhammad SAW used to recite this dua in the day of Arafat. So here is another kalmat which is like heavy in the scale of Mizan. So this is also the wonderful dua. You can recite it. Here we come the dua of once we drink the Zamzam water. So I paste it over there. Here is a dua of like we have to read it between two rukus. So I stick it here. And here's another one of my favorite dua, Rabbi Inni lima anzalta ilayya min khayrin faqira. Here's another dua, you have to read it between two sujood. So here's a dua for the difficulty, I paste it here. Here's another few duas for parents. So all the duas for the parents, I try to stick it together in a one page. There's a beautiful kalmat of the istighfar, I added. Here's another beautiful duas for the beneficial for deen and dunya. Here is a beautiful dua of Hajj Asia radhiyallahu ta'ala anha. Here's a dua for the family and the parents. So I stick it this dua here. Here's a dua for all the duas of the education or the knowledge. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Allahumma faqqihna fid-din. Rabbi zidni ilma. Ameen. Here's some beautiful kalmat which has heavy in the scale of Mizan. So here is a beautiful dua of the Hazrat Javeri. Prophet Muhammad SAW taught this dua to Hazrat Javeri radhiyallahu ta'ala anha. So we should make a habit, even though not reading only in the days of the Hajj. So we should make a habit of this dua to be most frequently reading these duas. So this is a beautiful dua for the heart. Prophet Muhammad SAW used to recite this dua, Ya muqallab al-qulubi sabbat qalbi ala dinik, most frequently. I really love this, like the sixth kalma we used to say this. But this is a very beautiful dua, the dua of the Yunus alayhi salam. And here is a dua of the deceased person. So where the name has been mentioned, Falan bin Falan. So you can even though call the name of the person, whomever you want to be called. For that, here is a the dua for the deceased person. And once you are visiting the graveyard, so these are the duas. You will be able to see this dua more frequently outdoor area of the like Jannatul Mala or Jannatul Baqi. Here is like all the beautiful duas in our own language, the Urdu language. So you can keep like these beautiful dua even though in English, whatever language you would like to read. So here like all the duas in the Urdu, which I found it the beautiful dua. So I add these duas in my dua book. Here also a beautiful duas like Allahumma innaka afuwwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. And there's a beautiful dua, Allahumma adkhilni jannatul firdaus. So the person whoever recite this dua 3 times in the dunya, the 4th time the land of the Jannatul Firdaus is also making a dua on behalf of that person. Ya Allah, let this person enter into me. Same happen with this dua, Allahumma ajirni min an-nar. So if the person read 3 times this dua in the dunya, the 4th time the land of the Jahannam, say Ya Allah, do not let this person enter into me. So these are just some beautiful reminders of the duas, like a very short to read it, but the ajr is very higher. So I also make like all the shortless duas, like and I can easily read it. Most of the duas I memorize it, so I kept all of duas together. And here is a dua which I really love it, like a dua of Taif. The Prophet Muhammad recite this dua, make this beautiful dua of Taif in the time of the very hard time of his life. So I love this dua so much. The wording of this dua always touch my heart, and whenever I read this dua, I can still feel that, like the moment of when the Prophet Muhammad make this dua, I can feel that pain, like that the words are really, really beautiful. If you are able to read this beautiful dua, and so make it habit to read it in your hard time, and also add this dua in your dua books, then you will be able to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala something very beautifully on the day of Arafah. Here is a dua of dua for Husn al-Khatimah. So there's a very beautiful duas from the Sunnah, and there's a beautiful duas of the Sahaba. So I'll compile all of duas together for Husn al-Khatimah, and some of the duas from the Quran. So, and here is one of the very beautiful dua of Hazrat Umar Razillah Ta'ala Anha for Husn al-Khatimah. So ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like what kind of death you want it, like the beautiful death and all of these stuff. I make few pages like for my own notes, what to do on the 10th day of Zul Hijjah, 11th day of Zul Hijjah, and 12th day of Zul Hijjah. Here's a few important notes, like when we read the 2 rakat nafil on behind the Maqam Ibrahim, which surah we have to recite first. I know it is very easy to remember, but some of the things, like we always need to be recall our memory. So it's good to, if you have a time, you can write all of this. I got all the text messages of my friends and family, and I printed out their own duas. Then I can make a dua on their behalf. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this, and hopefully this dua book is beneficial for you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this from us too. JAZAKALLAH.